Well, welcome aboard Carnival Adventure, and the ship is very familiar to anyone who's been on board Pacific Adventure, but you will notice some changes as soon as you board the ship. Perhaps the most noticeable changes you'll see is the ship actually is now branded as a Carnival ship, and they've brought, of course, all the Carnival aspects to the guest services and the Carnival loyalty program as well. Carnival has also brought its own youth and kids entertainment program on board. So Circle C, for example, which is located just off the main atrium. But the decor is still the same, you know, the ship still has that same feel on board as she did in her previous life. So she's very familiar, and it still feels like a P&O Cruises inspired ship, which is nice for Australian travellers who love that brand. You see more Carnival branding here on the, I think it's a cash machine, an ATM. Yeah, there you go. So there's still Angelo's. It still offers that same Italian style cuisine. So a mix of changes and similarities, as you can see. So the restaurant hasn't changed. We make our way down the stairs on the main atrium. There's Lily's Cafe still on offer here, but a change I've just noticed is cherry on top. And this is in the atrium area of the ship near the lobby, and this shop I think used to sell chocolates and everyday items and some teddy bears and that sort of thing when it was a P&O ship, but now it's the Carnival lolly shop. As you can see, it's being set up. Making our way towards the Level Up arcade, which is still here from the P&O days, but obviously Carnival branding throughout the ship. And of course there's arcades on the Carnival ships too. Having been on board Carnival Luminosa recently, we explored that. You can see that in my video about Carnival Luminosa.
Hi.
Hello. Everybody getting ready. I think we're back in the restaurant here. This is the waterfront. Waterfront, yes. So I found myself in the waterfront. There we go. So it's not changed. It's the same name, same design. Nice to have that P&O inspired name still selling. Signage has changed throughout the ship. Now branded as Carnival. And of course that huge Carnival logo on the funnel that they've added on, displayed here on the deck plans. So the Avalon Cafe is still here. And then heading forward, we actually find ourselves in the Embarkation Lounge, which again was part of the Grand Class design, and they're actually now calling the two Carnival Grand Class ships Adventure Class, but they are Grand Class ships, obviously designed by Princess Cruises all those years ago. And we've got Carnival Adventures, which is the shore tour experience. So that replaces the P&O branding here. All the signs have been updated on the internal parts of the ship with the Carnival style signage. So you can see here, looking through here at the cabins which are being prepared for passengers to embark for the first time. And here we have a balcony cabin and Carnival branding. Otherwise, looks very much like it did in P&O service. And this one here has the balcony, so you can have a view out. Look at that opera house right there. There are some hints of the P&O signage still around the place, but for the most part, these are replaced by the Carnival style branding. Another change you'll notice is Carnival branding throughout the shops on board the ship. And in fact, some of them have actually changed their names on the shopping promenade on board. So we'll go up the stairs, actually to the top level of the atrium. The ocean bar looks very familiar. Staircases and corridors look pretty much the same as they did before. So leaving the atrium on deck 7, and we can find the Adventure Hotel, which joyfully has maintained its name and branding. So it still has that lovely pub style, beachside pub style feel about it. Hello. Already showing some of that carnival fun. So this is pretty much as you remember it. And we'll come across here and then walk down the main access way, heading aft, and check out some of the other venues. So the photo gallery is now branded Marketplace. And they've got the Pixels photo gallery branding up here as well. And then the Blue Room has been rebranded as Piano Bar 88, which I wasn't expecting, but internally looks pretty much the way you remember it. Of course, all the crew are now wearing the Carnival uniforms as well, which is a bit of a difference. Trattoria is the Italian-inspired pizzeria on board, and it used to be 400 Gradi when it was P&O's ship. And in fact, some guests, I've been told by some of the crew in there, they still remember it as Sabatini's when it was a princess ship all those years ago. Have the towel animals on display. There you go. Oh, I've had a little elephant like that in my cabin once. That's pretty cool. This was a P&O Australia tradition, but I think Carnival also is known for its towel animals, so a nice little crossover there. And we'll head further aft towards Black Circus. Out here on the open deck, and again, everything is where you expect it to be, but there are some subtle changes. So you can see again Carnival branding on the signage. The big water slides are still there, so that's great. And of course the big screen with that welcome sign, welcome to Carnival Adventure, right up there. So it's it definitely feels like a Carnival ship when you see a massive sign like that. But they also have kept the edge experience, and this is your sort of adrenaline center. It's where everything is about fun and excitement. They've got the ropes course here. It's a rock climbing wall. You've got your water slides. And they've got Carnival branding up here now. So it's well and truly been absorbed into the Carnival experience, which is really cool. There's pizza galore on this ship. Lots of different places to get pizza, including on the top deck here by the swimming pool. And one of the elements of the Carnival experience is that pizza will be free throughout certain hours. Hello. Hi. And more food to choose from Luke's Burger Bar as well. Hello. So that's an old favourite of P&O Cruises, which has been kept on board the ships with their Carnival management. Under the glass roof, the family pool area has been retained, and it offers a sheltered swimming pool for people to enjoy swimming in all weather conditions, whether it's hot or cold outside. And of course the roof can open up to allow for a natural breeze or to just enjoy the sun. There's also a bar here. Hello. And such a friendly crew. The ship's crew is so good, and that's something that I remember from traveling with P&O Australia. Of course, many of those crew members have been kept on board. And you can see even here the pantry, established 2015, which was a P&O space. It's been kept on board the ship as well.
Yeah.
Hello. And again, it looks pretty much exactly the same as I remember it. And there it is, the big Carnival sign that has been added to the funnel, as you can see here, on Carnival Adventure. Gosh, that's a pretty significant sign. It looks as if the funnel's actually been painted in a lighter blue as well than it was before, in the Carnival blue. So I might have made a mistake in my previous video when I was looking at it from the shore, thinking that it was the P&O blue. It seems to be repainted. It's very bright and vibrant anyway. Another massive difference is that the ship's been re-registered in the Bahamas, in Nassau. So you can see the flag of convenience flying at the aft of the ship there. The ship's the flag from the ship's port of registry. So let's head up to 17, which is where you'll find Altitude Nightclub. And it'll be interesting to see if this looks the same as it did when she was a P&O ship as well. This is one of the most interesting spaces on board any cruise ship, I think, because it has this ramp, and when the ship's at sea, the escalator will help transport people up this ramp, and it leads through to this elevated nightclub, which was a really special feature on board the Grand Class ships back when they were first introduced. Most of them have had it removed, but Carnival Encounter and Carnival Adventure still retain theirs. So as we make our way back down towards deck 16, just a few other things that you won't see but you'll experience on board that have changed. They've updated, I suppose, the onboard entertainment, as I touched on before. The onboard entertainment team is now called the Fun Squad, which is similar to the other Carnival ships. And there is also activities that they've got on board, like the Carnival ships, similar to what I was talking about when I showed you the kids facility. So they've got the Carnival Kids Clubs on board. They also have the Build the Bear workshops on the ship. So now we're on deck 16. Let's head outside and check out the aft of the ship. Sunset bar, unchanged from the P&O days, and if we look forward we can see the water slides. Those of course were added when they were P&O ships, and of course that massive Carnival sign once again. That funnel's definitely been repainted. It's very vibrant, the blue, particularly in person. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's a much lighter blue than what it was. Making our way forwards, and the sky bar is still there. It's Australian themed. It's got the Australian continental outline around the signage, and it overlooks the top of the ship here. If you have travelled on board this ship when she was a P&O ship, you will definitely feel at home here. She still feels very much like her old self, which is really nice for anybody who appreciates the older ships and something that they bring, that sense of excitement and cruising that the older ships tend to have, the history that they have, the long service lives they have, and of course the wonderful crew. So the spa and fitness centre is at the forward end of the ship, and looks relatively the same as it did before. There's the salon. Lots and lots of options here. If you want to stay fit during your cruise, it is definitely possible. I just spotted a hint of her former name. Can you see it? And there we have it. The Carnival flag flying from the mast of a Grand Class cruise ship. Carnival Adventure. And finally, the Byron Beach Club. So this is the exclusive relaxation area for people who are in the Byron Beach Club accommodation. And it has this sheltered area at the forward end of the ship. Lots of nice, comfortable seating and its own bar. So popular area for people who are traveling in this grade of accommodation. And I think it will continue to be so with Carnival. And of course, Adventure and Encounter are the only two Carnival ships with the Byron Beach Club offering. It'll be interesting to see if it ever gets added to Splendor, which is also based in Australia. Luminosa, of course, does seasons here and seasons elsewhere, so she's a little bit harder to Australianize than the others. So I hope you enjoyed this tour, this whirlwind tour of Carnival Adventure, now in Carnival colours and operating as a Carnival Cruise Line ship on her first day in Carnival service here in Sydney. Mostly you'll see that the ship hasn't changed that much. She's definitely got the same atmosphere on board, the same sense of history that she had when she was a P&O Cruises ship. Of course, she started her life Princess Cruises in the early 2000s and now still continues to operate with Carnival. And I think it's nice to maintain some of the older ships in service. And if you've travelled with her when she was a P&O ship, let us know. Will you come back on board now that she's with Carnival? Let us know what you think. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, I hope to see you on board. 5, 4, 3,